Today has been a very crazy day in the NFL world. I'm sure a very crazy day for fantasy football owners, especially if you own a couple other receivers that made big headlines today. Let's talk about it. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. My name's Noah. Let's talk about some football. Now, before we talk about some football, let's talk for a second about baseball, baby. Listen, my voice is a little gone. It's definitely better than it was this morning and last night. But yesterday, I was in LA for Mets and Dodgers. Amazing game. All I'm gonna say is this hat has a World Series 2015 patch. I need a new one that has a World Series 2024 patch. That's all I'm gonna say. Game 3 going back to New York. Let's end it. Let's go to the World Series, baby. New York needs a chip. But for today, we are talking about a different New York team who I'm sure are very happy right now because they have wide receiver Davante Adams from the Raiders. Now, this has been kind of cooking up and building a lot for the last couple of weeks, but it ended up happening and became official today. And this is a very, very huge story. I will get into this in a second. Another story that happened today shortly after was the Browns traded Amari Cooper to the Bills. This is a very big story for the Bills. I think this is huge. It honestly was a W for the Browns as well because they essentially, in a nutshell, traded for Amari Cooper, leveraged him, got usage out of him, and then value went up for him, and they pretty much got more in return for what they gave up. So honestly, this was a good move for the Browns. Not really the best when you consider Deshaun Watson has been struggling, and not only struggling, if you look at his stats, he's historically had a historically bad season, like one of the worst we've ever seen. I forgot what specifically it was, but yeah, he has had a historically terrible season. So when you take away his wide receiver one, it kind of brings up the question of what do we do at quarterback. I'm not sure. Browns, I'm sure they're not really sure either, but let's move on. We'll get back into this in a second. My fantasy team is in shambles. I dropped from 1st to 5th in a matter of 1 week. We will get into that in a second as well, and let's just go into everything that's happened today. All right, so we were talking about the Jets. This was last night. Aaron Rodgers does it once again. Another Aaron Rodgers classic Hail Mary. They tried to say this was dropped and was incomplete, but clear as day, caught it, comes down with it. This was clearly a touchdown. Yeah, so you can see he was down. Ball came out after he was down. That's a touchdown. We've seen Aaron Rodgers do this many times. Now he will have another wide receiver to throw it to, and Davante Adams. They obviously have history together in Green Bay. They literally cooked for the entirety of my childhood, it feels like. But yeah, honestly, this is huge news for Jets fans. If you have Garrett Wilson in fantasy, listen. Garrett Wilson fantasy owners, Jets got Aaron Rodgers. They're probably thinking, yeah, Garrett Wilson, we up now. And then 10 seconds later, the Raiders are completing a trade of superstar wide receiver Davante Adams to the Jets. Back with his good friend Aaron Rodgers as Las Vegas moves on. Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall fantasy owners are never going to be happy. Same thing with Bijan owners. Same thing with me. And for no player specifically, it's just my team is just hit with injuries. My team's at an all-time low right now, and honestly, I don't know how to feel about it. So this trade is a little confusing because the value they get in return for the Raiders is based on how Adams performs. It is conditional, so it's a conditional third rounder going to the Raiders that can become a second rounder based on performance. So honestly, I'm not sure the last time we've seen a trade like this. Look, realistically, he'll probably, and I'm going to give predictions for both of these wide receivers on their new teams right now. For the Jets, realistically, the only thing that's going to change for the Jets is they're going to make highlight plays. Davante Adams is going to get his fair share of catches. Garrett Wilson might be more open since Adams will have the defense's attention on him. But in the long run, will it make a difference? Will they win? Are they going to the Super Bowl? No. Will they do anything next year? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is old. He's literally 40 years old. He's a 40-year-old quarterback in 2024. You could say, well, Tom Brady played for longer. Aaron Rodgers is looking old. He's not looking like the same Aaron Rodgers we grew up with. How long does he have in the National Football League? Will this be his last year? Will he have another year? Davante Adams came here for him, so it doesn't look like he is done soon. Maybe Aaron Rodgers really wants to play as long as he possibly can, but how long will he play? We really don't know. And if he does retire and leaves the Jets, what happens to Davante Adams? Will Davante Adams then find a new team? Will he then want to go to the Saints and play with Derek Carr or wherever Derek Carr is? What will happen with Davante Adams? Because I guarantee right now, if the Jets lose Aaron Rodgers for whatever reason, and they're stuck in a quarterback limbo and they don't have anybody to throw the ball, and all of a sudden Davante Adams has another Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell situation on his hands, he's going to be a crybaby and diva his way out of there. He's going to shimmy his way out of there, and he's going to never look back. So for the Jets, I don't know how much is going to pay off. Like I said, this is going to be very interesting to see how this develops. But when it comes to the Bills, I think the Bills made a perfect move. Amari Cooper has been on a ton of teams, whether it's the Browns, the Cowboys, now he's going to be on the Bills. And Amari Cooper always does good on no matter what team he's on. Like, sure, looking at his stats, he doesn't have the most crazy career stats ever. But look, when you watch him and you see what he's able to do on a football field, he's definitely a difference maker, bro. He's definitely a difference maker. He's a wide receiver 1. If he had a solid quarterback, like he has Josh Allen throwing him the ball now, bro, this is huge. This is huge. The Bills gave up Stephon Diggs. The Texans now have him. They were kind of looking like they were in trouble, but Josh Allen is having an amazing year so far. Josh Allen already has 10 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, and a 106 passer rating going to week 7. And this dude has 1,000 yards already and 10 touchdowns, and he has 0 interceptions. Josh Allen is playing lights out football right now. This honestly makes no sense. We thought he would have no options at receiver since Stephon Diggs is gone, but clearly that's not the case. And since he has Amari Cooper coming, honestly, the Bills' chances of a Super Bowl just went up a lot. And I'm not joking, the Bills' chances of a Super Bowl just went up significantly. Also, it looks like we could be seeing Mr. Unlimited back on the field at some point. Honestly, I don't know. It looks like the Steelers are planning to give Russ first team reps in practice this week, putting him in line to make a season debut and start Sunday night against the Jets. Pittsburgh is 4-2 at Fields, but Wilson's calf is fully healed and now he gets his shot. Honestly, I don't know why they're changing something that's working. They're 4-2 with Fields. Now, if this said they are 2-4 with Justin Fields, then yes, bring in Russell Wilson. But why are you bringing in Russell Wilson when it's working with Justin Fields? He's a younger quarterback. He can learn from Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson looked pretty bad the last time we saw him play in Denver. And honestly, this is not the move. This is not the move. I don't know what the Steelers are doing. I don't know what the hell the Steelers are doing. Instead of wasting their mental energy and focus on this, they need to figure out what's going on with George Pickens and make him do something and give him the ball so I can stop losing in fantasy, because I don't like losing in fantasy. It's stupid because I know everything. I should be winning in fantasy. Also, in other news, this is slightly irrelevant, but it is kind of a big deal at the same time. Tom Brady has been officially approved by the NFL owners as a limited partner of the Raiders. He has a 5% stake and a total purchase of 10%. Wow. Yeah, now officially his playing career is now over because now he is owning the team, part of the team. He literally cannot get back on the field if he wanted to. So honestly, this is a huge move. Congrats, Tom Brady. Eli Manning still owns you though. Also, in some heartbreaking news for me and my fellow Giants fans, Andrew Thomas is in Charlotte meeting with a foot doctor, and it's looking like his season is over. Now, this is our star left tackle. This guy is huge on our line. Our offensive line is looking very good this year. This is going to be a huge blow, and yeah, I don't like this. It looks like Evan Neal is gonna have to come back and take his spot for the time being. Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing to say about the Giants right now. So the Vikings are getting Cam Akers from the Texans. It's looking like maybe that Aaron Jones injury was a little more serious than we thought. Either way, I picked him up on fantasy. I have to wait for it to clear tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully I get him because my team is in shambles. And if you guys don't believe me, I fell from 1st to 5th this week. Let's look at my performance for this last week, shall we? So my team put up a terrible, historically underwhelming, underperforming week. Let's look at my points scored. So, Lamar Jackson, 19 points. Travis Etienne, I don't even care about pronouncing his name properly at this point. I have no respect for him. I dropped his bum ass. Dude came in the game. I'm watching bright and early, 6 in the morning. Dude gets 1 yard. I think he got some Mickey Mouse injury. Leaves the game, never seen again. Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez, and I got negative points because of this freaking guy, man. Chase Brown, thank you, he did his job against the Giants. 14.5 points. Alec Pierce was nowhere to be found. We need to put up missing posters for this man. George Pickens got 8 points. Brock Bowers did his thing, 16 points. McLaughlin, this guy has been a bench player all year for me. I had zero intention starting him, and ultimately I had zero choice. Justin Tucker got 12 points, and Texans defense also got 12 points. Okay, you guys want to see my bench? Bench got 15 points. His bench got 60. He has Nico Collins and Rashee Rice on IR. Absolutely terrible luck. I have Christian McCaffrey, Malik Neighbors, and Jacoby Myers all out this week. So I literally had nothing. I had Hunter Henry on the bench, but even that one have helped me. Brock Bowers had more points anyways. And honestly, this was just a tough a tough loss, dude. I fell from 1st to 5th, and honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna bounce back. Also, one of the final stories for today, the Lions are giving defensive lineman Alan McNeil a 4-year deal for $97 million with $55 million guaranteed. Honestly, I feel like this is a bit of an overpay. Maybe I'm just saying that because he's overshadowed by Aiden Hutchinson, who had a terrible injury yesterday. I'm not gonna show the video. It is terrible. You can literally hear the dude's leg snap. Prayers up for Aiden Hutchinson. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Hopefully he can come back and still be as effective, but that injury is just terrible. You really hate to see that happen. And just like that, we are caught up. Thank you to Mr. Rappaport for more news for today. Thank you, Ian Rappaport. You are a goat. And that's all for today's video, man. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. If you disagree with me about my Davante Adams or Amari Cooper takes, let me know. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment down below. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Who do you think will be better? Who do you think won the trade of those two trades? Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. I'm genuinely very curious. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like. If you guys want more content, go ahead and subscribe. Other than that, my name is Noah, and I am out. Peace.